You know that heart-stopping oh crap moment when you've screwed up so bad there's no rewind button? Like snagging a $5 gas station sushi roll, hyping yourself up, it's a vibe, I've got this. Only to end up doubled over, cursing your life choices as the regret hits harder than a freight train. Buckle up, because that's exactly where a swelling wave of Trump voters are stranded right now. They charged in, fists pumped, ready to torch the system and dunk on the libs with a victory dance for the ages. But hold the phone. Reality's crashing the party, and it's serving up a savage plot twist. Their wallets, bleeding out like a busted piggy bank. Their jobs, wobbling like a Jenga tower in a windstorm. And their freedoms, snagged in a trap they didn't even clock coming. They wanted to flip the script, but now they're the ones getting flipped. Hard. Tell me, have you ever bet big and lost bigger? This crew's living it, and the fallout's wilder than they ever bargained for.
We voted for Trump because he promised while he was campaigning like a million times that when he got into office, he was going to bring down prices, bring down grocery prices. The inflation has been high ever since COVID, and he promised he would bring that down, but it's obvious to me now that that was not true.
I voted for President Trump.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No, I did not vote for that. I do not think that's what the voters want. It's devastating.
County wants to cut our school funding. I don't think that anyone voted for that.
Do you mind if I ask who you voted for in the election?
I voted for Donald Trump.
80% of this county did vote for Donald Trump in November. But that doesn't mean that they believe that anything will be cut here.
I have to take responsibility for my personal vote that enabled that. I have to say I wasn't paying attention. I should have been and I wasn't. There's a lot of reasons for that, but and I regret that, obviously now. Trying to take responsibility for that and own it publicly.
The day after Trump won, I knew I had made a huge mistake. A lot of guilt and genuine shame. Probably gonna get some understandable hate for this.
Whatever was more important than my son, your granddaughters, whatever it was, I hope you get it. If it was cheaper gas prices, cheaper eggs, more guns, Greenland now for some reason, I hope you get that. All of it. Or else it was all for nothing, right? And that's not true. It's not even true. I hope you suffer, honestly. I do. And before you tell me how cruel that is, hoping doesn't do anything. I hope for lots of things that don't happen. You know what gets things done is voting. And you fucking betrayed them. All of them. So many people. And whatever it is you betrayed them for, I don't know. I hope it's worth it. I hope it's good to you, and it probably will be. It probably will be, because that's what you wanted, and you knew. But I'll never forgive you for it, ever.
Some folks who aren't feeling Trump's optimism right now are American farmers, and they are stuck in the middle of all of this.
Frank, who did you vote for president?
Mr. Trump.
Right?
Trump.
Mr. Trump.
If the election were today, Frank, would you vote for Donald Trump?
No way. Couldn't happen.
Imagine this. Some Trump voters are waking up like that wide-eyed sidekick in a disaster flick. The one who just clocked they've been rolling with the wrong posse, seconds before the whole set explodes in a fiery mess. They rallied hard, fists in the air, chanting, "Make America Great Again," betting it'd rain prosperity on the little guy. Farmers knee-deep in dirt, small business owners scraping by, working-class families juggling bills like circus pros. But as the smoke clears, the plot twist stings like a slap. This blockbuster's not their win. The real champs? Mega-rich corporate titans and slick opportunists like Elon Musk, rubbing their hands as they cash in on the chaos. Meanwhile, the everyday crew's left clutching the tab, staring at empty pockets and broken promises. Sound familiar? It's like they signed up for a hero's journey but got cast as the extras in a heist flick. And the heist ain't in their favor.
Look at that most recent press conference in the Oval Office. Who was talking? Elon.
Elon was running his mouth while his kid picked his nose beside the impotent commander-in-chief. And that is not good. That's not good for any one of us. America is being played by the world's richest man. Let's be clear. There's not a voter in America that doesn't want to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse in government. There's not a Democrat or Republican or independent out there that's just like, yeah, let's let the government waste all of our tax dollars because who cares? Everybody wants the government to be responsible with our money. But what Elon is doing with our agencies and departments has nothing to do with our money and everything to do with his money. If we really wanted to save money, the very first agency the newly minted Department of Government Efficiency should have audited would have been the Department of Defense, since it's the second largest category of government spending, and the Pentagon has failed its annual audit 7 years in a row. In fact, it hasn't passed an audit since the Department of Defense became required to have audits because they couldn't fully account for where their money was going. But did DOGE start there? No. DOGE started with USAID and the Consumer Financial Protection Board, and they're all up in Treasury and Transportation, and the EPA. They started with the agencies and departments that are specifically connected to Elon's personal wealth.
Yeah, I want to jump on the bandwagon of saying that I regret my vote for Trump. My whole family does. My husband and I own a farm in Ohio that was funded through the Inflation Reduction Act, which Biden signed into law. And now the executive orders from Trump are rolling back all of that funding for us, so now we can no longer afford our farm. And when all that happened, it was like a lightning bolt hit my brain, and I realized that I shouldn't just be voting for myself, that Trump's policies and EOs are hurting millions of people, but it took it affecting me personally to understand what I had done was wrong. And I think it's really important for anyone to come out who voted for him and is now negatively impacted by the executive orders, or maybe you have friends or family, especially in minority communities, who are being very heavily impacted by what's going on right now. So yeah, I think it's time for us to stop being so selfish maybe, and to vote for what's best for the country instead of just in our tiny little bubble, because we're all in the same boat now and we're all equally screwed by our new president.
Buckle up, because the fallout's slamming down like a sledgehammer, and there's no dodging this mess. Farmers, those gritty souls Trump swore would thrive, are choking on debt, teetering on the edge of bankruptcy like they're starring in a real-life horror show. Those tariffs? They're not some magic wand sparking an American agriculture renaissance. They're a wrecking ball, smashing it to bits. Trump sold that easy trade war with China as a chest-thumping win for the heartland, a shield for the little guy's economy. But surprise, it's a gut punch, bleeding out the very industries his voters lean on. Think soybeans rotting in silos and hog barns, echoing with despair. Winning? Yeah, that's reserved for the penthouse crowd already sipping champagne at the top while the base scrambles for crumbs. Who saw that twist coming? Spoiler, not the folks betting on the hype.
I voted for him for lower grocery prices. He promised me cheaper prices on groceries. And that has not happened. Not only has that not happened, I am getting my food stamps taken. I am getting my cash assistance taken. I am getting my Section 8 taken. I am getting all my welfare governments taken. I did not ask for this. I would not have voted for him if I knew this was going to happen. So what do I do now? What do the people do now? The ones that regret their vote. What do we do? I can't go out and get a regular job. And it's not even about these families being separated from their loved ones. It's not about these 5 and 6 year olds getting their families taken away from them in the middle of a school day. It's not about any of that. It's about me and my food stamps and my cash assistance. Me. That I'm the only one that matters in this country. I am taking my life back.
And once again, we find people that supported Donald Trump that are feeling the effects of his policies, that are starting to feel the hurt, and I could not be happier for them. This is what they deserve. We're all going to be in the find out phase, but it does put a little bit of a smile on my face that the people who were warned, the people who should have been able to see who he was, are feeling it first.
Imagine scoring tickets to your fave band, only for them to mug you and smack you on stage. That's Trump's America for MAGA fans. They were promised riches. Instead, grocery bills soar, wages flatline, and rent spikes like Trump's legal tab. Billionaire tax cuts? They're hoarded offshore, not trickling down. Regular folks pay more while the elite giggle to the Caymans. Inflation's a beast, fueled by chaotic policies. Trump voters thought he'd fight for them. Turns out, it's all for his ego, cash, and cronies. Harsh reality check.
One woman who is saying she's so upset with Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Republicans, and that's it. She's come to the conclusion, and she's telling all of us there's no difference between left and right, and we all need to band together. Now you guys got what you wanted, and you have to suffer the consequences too. We are going to be suffering so much more over the next 4 years, and maybe even beyond. And as far as I'm concerned, I will stay on my side where people are humane, where we care about all humans, regardless of their race, where we see everyone as equal. I'm going to stay on that side because you don't believe those things. You just don't want to get hurt anymore by what you voted for. There's the difference between the two.
Some Republicans just found out today what Elon Musk had said before the election about us all facing temporary hardship. They then looked to the stock market to see what was going on there, and the experts are saying, and their only question is, what about my retirement? What about your retirement?
I'm here in the store for the first time in a while, and I'm gonna go check out the egg prices. Every single store I've went to buy eggs has been sold out, so hopefully this store has some. They can't be that high, right? Like, they can't. Egg prices. $50 for this? $50? $14? What the fuck is in this? Yo! What the fuck happened to the eggs? Are you serious? $10 for this shit? The fuck is in there, gold? The fuck do they put in the eggs now? I gotta be in a different tax bracket to eat breakfast?
Donald Trump just posted an article on social media telling Americans to, quote, shut up about high egg prices. On Truth Social just a moment ago, Donald Trump posted this article from the Daily Caller saying, shut up about egg prices. Trump is saving consumers millions. Now, is Donald Trump actually saving anybody millions? No, of course not. But what an insane position to take. Americans are spending more and more at the grocery store for eggs and a variety of other goods, and Donald Trump's position is just shut up. Just stop talking about it? Really? Wasn't Donald Trump the same guy who complained about high egg prices and prices generally throughout his entire campaign, saying that he could lower them on day one, and now that he's actually in power and president, he's telling you to just be quiet?
Hey folks, here's the wake-up slap nobody signed up for, but too many are stuck with. Dreams of cash flow? Popped like a balloon. Stick around. Hit like if you're in. Those wins folks cheered for? They're VIP passes for billionaires clinking glasses, while everyday Americans blink at grocery bills mimicking mortgage stubs, life turning brutal. Hoped for a greatness premiere? Turns out, they're just background props in a tax cut caper for the elite. The wealthy stack chips, the rest scrape by with the tab. Could this spark the big wake-up, swapping hype for hard truths? Power's not with the big shots, it's yours. So, ultimate screw around, find out moment. Or a fixable flop. Done or doubling down? What's your vibe? Epic crash or comeback shot? Spill it below, dig no filter breakdowns. Smash like, subscribe. We're rolling hot, and you won't want to miss the next drop.